International media has widely reported regarding the enhanced surveillance of Tibetan refugees in Nepal. Thousands of CCTV cameras from China are put in streets and rooftops to monitor the population. This has stifled the once vibrant Free Tibet movement. The first cameras were installed near Bodhanath Temple in 2012. For more data and information on subjects covered, you can pause at the infographic. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi reiterated the need for structural changes in the United Nations Security Council and provide Africa a larger role in shaping global decisions. He affirmed for a more pluralistic world order at a conference of the Russia-Africa Partnership held in Cairo, which was attended by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and ministers from more than 50 African countries along with representatives from several African and regional organizations. The Security Council, which is charged with maintaining international peace and security, has not changed since the inception in 1945. European Union leaders agreed to provide a substantial interest-free loan to Ukraine for its economic and military requirements for the coming 2 years. However, they failed to overcome differences with Belgium that would have allowed them to use frozen Russian assets for providing the funds to Ukraine. After the war for past 4 years, the International Monetary Fund estimates that Ukraine will need 137 billion euros in 2026 and 2027. The government in Kyiv is fighting bankruptcy and requires immediate injection of funds for running the country and fight the war. The plan to use some of the 210 billion euros worth of Russian frozen assets didn't find consensus amongst the member states. A Pakistani court convicted and sentenced imprisoned former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi to 17 years in prison in the Toshakhana case, after finding them guilty of retaining and selling state gifts received abroad. The couple pleaded not guilty when they were indicted last year. They were accused of selling the gifts, including jewelry from Saudi Arabia's government, at prices far below their market value when he was Prime Minister. Prosecutors said Khan and his wife declared the value of the gifts at approximately $10,000, far below their actual market value of $285,000, allowing them to purchase the items at throwaway price. This conviction comes in the wake of demand for Pakistani armed forces in the International Stabilization Force being created in Gaza. The Trump administration restricted visas for 2 Honduran election officials, citing interference in the special vote count. With 99% of the vote counted so far, conservative candidate Nasri Asfura of the National Party, who is backed by President Donald Trump, is narrowly leading with 40% of the vote. Fellow conservative Salvador Nasrallah of the Liberal Party followed with 39%. Nearly 20 days after the elections were held, Hondurans still do not know the results of the presidential race. Due to the narrow margin between the two leading candidates, electoral officials have carried out a special revision of ballot boxes that show alleged inconsistencies and errors. This is the latest example of the Trump administration interfering in Honduran affairs. Over the past year in office, Trump administration has wielded its power in Latin America more aggressively than most American governments in recent history. Trump has openly offered support and funds to right-wing allies, while applying punishing pressure to adversaries, often on the left. Jordan confirmed that its Air Force took part in strikes launched by the United States on Islamic State group targets in Syria to avenge the killing of 3 US citizens earlier this month. The United States launched military strikes on multiple sites in Syria to eliminate Islamic State group fighters and weapons in retaliation for an attack by Syrian gunmen that killed 2 US troops and an American civilian interpreter almost a week earlier. Jordan is one of 90 countries which are part of the global coalition against Islamic State, which Syria recently joined. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that at least 5 people were killed, including the leader and members of Islamic State. The UN Security Council has urged Rwanda to withdraw its forces from eastern Congo and extended the UN peacekeeping mission in Congo, known as MONUSCO, for a year, as fighting in the region escalated despite a US-mediated peace deal. The resolution comes as the rebel group M23 claimed Wednesday to have withdrawn from Uvira, which is a strategic city in eastern Congo, citing pressure from the United States. North Korea said Japan's ambition for possession of nuclear weapons should be thoroughly curbed. Japan is showing the intention to possess nuclear weapons by saying that it needs to review the non-nuclear principles. Japan began making such comments actively as soon as the United States approved a request from South Korea for building a nuclear submarine. That is the roundup of India's specific geopolitical news from across the globe. Similar content will be loaded daily. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel. Have a good day.